do you think the game plan is from Liquid with this? Like, how does sort of that pairing of these two cores work out, having this Brood and Morph? Like what are the timings these heroes are going to enable for one another?
I've seen different Brood builds. I would say lately the Midas has kind of fallen out of favor. In the past you would go Midas, Ags, and then a combat item. I think qojqva will go for a more aggressive approach. He's already queued up an early Medallion and Soul Ring, so I think we might see the Medallion into Diffusal perhaps, and then go early fighting. Because it's a valid concern. Like, if both Brood and Morphling need 15 to 20 minutes build-up time, you can lose the map to this Alliance lineup. It can play relatively fast. So yeah, I would like to see a combat Brood. Maybe this is the kind of game again where Mickey goes for a first item Ethereal Blade, and you try to fight early on.
Yeah, we've seen some great Morphling performances here on the main stage so far, some excellent E-Blade timings. We'll see if Mickey's able to bring out another one of those. Down bottom against that duo off the Gyro, we will have Boxy on the Mars, Tiger Willow. These heroes, they are going to have that insane team fight combo that's going to allow them to make a lot of plays as it comes down to it. But at the same time, Alliance will have that save potential, right? Anytime that combo is going to be used, as long as Hansken's ready to tether in, it's not going to be that easy for Liquid to blow up the heroes in that combo.
Yeah, there's a lot of counterplay actually. It's not only the relocate, it's also a thing about Mars when he initiates fights is it's extremely telegraphed and very kind of one-dimensional the way fights work. You put down an arena, you're fighting in this arena. Well, if Magnus isn't in it, there's the possibility of blinking in and RPing. Maybe you can catch the Morph or the Brood. And let's not forget, Brood as a hero in teamfights, if the Spiderlings are not particularly good, which is the case in this game, there's Flak Cannon, Beastmaster, and Cleave from Mag, you need a BKB to hit heroes. And guess what? You're playing against RP and Roar. There are definitely problems. Overall, I would say I kind of favor Alliance just based on overall draft in this game, because I think what Liquid needs to do in fights is pretty complicated, actually, to execute. But let's see when they get started. I think the most important thing is get a good game on Mars. He needs to set the tempo of this one.
So far in that bottom lane, pretty much well, a little bit of a lead for Boxy. They're 8 for 4 against the 6 for 2. The wave's going to be pushed in, and obviously once Nico Baby starts to get those levels, there'll be the chance for him to be a bit more aggressive with the backup of Hansken. But for now, again, they'll make a bit of an attempt onto him here. They do spear him back to the tree. It's a lot of damage, not enough. Every time Hansken will be there, ready to heal Nico Baby back up.
Send out a fresh salve as well, so he'll be back to pretty much full health here.
And on this top lane, Mickey, it's not feeling under too much pressure really from this duo of 33 and Fada. And Sania was seen being doing a great job at chasing the Lich away, making sure that Mickey hasn't got to deal with that constant harass with the blast. And the mid lane matchup, very, very much even. Limp 21 for 5 against the 20 for 1. He's able to push in, keep the spider. qojqva forced to hang around that mid lane, otherwise qojqva's going to risk taking a fair bit of damage to that tier 1 if Limp does continue to push in the lane as much as he has been able to do so.
And the logic in this mid matchup is both heroes kind of want to push out the wave and then go and take an additional jungle camp. So there will be a lot of heroes not in the lane.
And here we have top. They get themselves the first blood, Alliance. Insania a little too far forward, as you see already with the trees cleared out. Not a lot of places for Insania to hide and play around. And has to be careful. That slow and aggression that this Lich enables is very, very powerful here in the early lanes.
I think this lane is extremely strong in general. Lich Beastmaster. If the lane you're facing can't kill boars reliably, there's just so much slow and passive damage that you will end up losing almost any exchange, as was apparent in this instance as well. The Morphlings also, you can see clearly struggling in comparison to, I would say, what he would like. It's not awful having 18 CS right now, but it's absolutely not even close to free farm yet either. But at the same time, I mean, the pressure bottom from Liquid is also working out pretty well against Nico Baby. So pretty even across the board, all things considered.
Yeah, with the way that these lanes are going, do you imagine both team supports are going to need to stay in these side lanes? Like, is there any hope for looking towards the mid, or Magnus and Brood, are these just heroes you don't really want to spend resources ganking early?
They're just there. I mean, if anybody ganks, it will be Alliance rotating in to try to kill with the RP, because Honestly, right now, Liquid don't really have a way of killing mid. They need a level 6 on Willow or Mars to contain and kill off this mag. Treant can't gank in mid in general as a hero. It's just an awful place. There's no trees. It's hard to get off a good Nature's Grasp. So stick to the side lanes for now, for sure. qojqva's being very efficient on this Brood. He's played this hero a lot. He has this like repertoire of, I would say, some heroes that mid players right now don't tend to favor as much in both the Lone Druid and the Broodmother top lane.
Okay, it's got the wave fall away, but Insania is not going to be quite as lucky. The living armor giving him a bit of safety. It's not enough as Alliance take him down a second time. The strength of this dual lane continuing to be showed. And LIMMP, as expected in the mid, as you say, as soon as one of these mids sort of steps away to go towards the neutral camps, pressure will be there onto the tower. As the sooner LIMMP's able to sort of take this mid away from qojqva, the more it's going to allow him to then leave the lane and look elsewhere to help the rest of his team set up for kills in the side lanes.
And he really wants to pressure it right now because there's a siege creep mid. This is the first strong timing that Magnus has in the way of pushing the tower. So qojqva being here on defense is already a little bit of an XP loss because now he can't get experience for the creeps that his spiralings are farming. At the same time, I love this from LIMMP. I think this is exactly what you need to do. If you have two mid heroes that both want to just push the wave and farm neutrals, if one of them is stronger in these kind of exchanges, try and go and take the other guy's farm, right? If he can't fight you back with the spiders, LIMMP is effectively negating one camp. And maybe he could have done this even earlier than he has. See him walking over to the other one now. qojqva is paying good attention here. Still going to lose only one little one. Not too bad.
And with the way the side lane is going in terms of kills, obviously we've seen Alliance get the couple of kills on Insania. Is it much of a problem for Liquid that this bottom lane of the Mars Dark Willow, it's not getting any action? Sure, Boxy's farming, but do you pick these two heroes expecting to find kills on the offensive in the start?
I don't think you expect... Willow Mars isn't actually that incredibly powerful of a lane, especially against Io's sustain. So I don't think Liquid feels stressed. I think they're just happy that they're giving Boxy a good game, which is what they needed. His laning stage is going very well. Surprisingly for me, actually, the Gyro is suffering a little bit more than the Morphling. I was not expecting that. Oh, there's a courier kill. That'll put some extra salt in the wound. So overall, I think both teams are pretty happy with this, but the lane that is going a little bit different than what I thought is definitely that bottom lane. RP mid, there's the rotation.
Let's see if they have the damage to take him. There's any further control. Another skewer to slow him down. That'll do it. Alliance make the move. Fada will die to the spiders. See LIMMP on the run. There's Tiger with a bit of control. Curse Crown's going to tick in as well. TPs are coming over as Mickey wants to get involved. Zips him with the waveform, and they have the damage to punish LIMMP.
Tiger's already level 6. 30 minutes in. I think he got the experience from the Lich kill. He TP'd in just in time, and that got him the 6 that honestly might have been necessary to secure this kill there, so very nicely done from him. It will cost Boxy a little bit of lane presence, so Gyro will be having a better time here. That's one of the benefits of forcing that rotation to mid, but 2-for-1 kill, I think you take that.
I mean, yeah, Tiger, he's come across this top lane. He's going to try and go on to 33. Frost Shield is out on him. They've got a good amount of burst, and they'll take him down. Tiger, we've seen it so many times for this man. The plays, the way he knows how to win games of Dota has been so impressive in some of the previous matches, and already he's starting to be the playmaker that Liquid need, going from that mid lane to the top lane, getting these core kills for the side.
And he looks like he is going to build into a Spirit Vessel. If you're having a very good game on Willow, the hero can be pretty amazing against Io. You have the Terrorize against the Tether. You have, obviously, a hero that can build Vessel and solo kill cores, even. Even if they're being healed up by that Wisp, just all of that mitigation can be really, really powerful. So yeah, Tiger's game is definitely the most standout so far. Everything else is kind of going according to plan, somewhat. And it will be a slightly slower game in the start, I think. Just both teams will want to ramp up a little bit. There's very limited mobility on Liquid's side. There's somewhat limited mobility on Alliance's side. Like, look at these support duos, right? Willow, Treant, and Lich Io. It's not your classic, hey, let's roam and trying to find a lot of kills, like a Shaker, for example. So It's all good. Time for outpost though. Let's see if Alliance, they don't have relocate, so they can't make this cute play where they take the bottom outpost and then relocate to fight for the top one. Looks like it will be the other way around anyway, as most often is the case. You try to take the enemy team's safe lane outpost, or maybe not actually. No, they're getting their own safe lane outpost. Looked like Alliance. Oh, Liquid are indeed making a move bottom.
They are. They dropped down the arena. They're trying to burst down Nico, baby. Father there is ready for the help as he'll come across, turn it just onto Boxy, as Boxy will fall. Tiger tried his best. They did use the Terrorize to push back Handskin, but it didn't matter. Nico, baby, was too tanky at this early stage of the game. They didn't have enough damage to bring down the gyro, and they're giving away a double kill to this Nico, baby gyrocopter.
Yeah, that was not the plan for sure. And obviously it is a big damage cost for Willow to start terrorizing the IO. You have to remember that. Like, if Mars catches the gyro, Willow needs to use all damage spells to get him down. He has strength treads, and I think he had a pretty high charge wand. So just that time alone, like Trian is there, but this hero doesn't deal any significant damage in these kind of fights. That wasn't really enough in the tank. And now relocate is online. So now the game changes a lot here for Alliance. They have the possibility of Roar into relocate. You have RP into relocate. So every lane on the map now for Liquid is a lot more dangerous to place a hero in. We might see this happen a lot now. What's happening mid is Insania is just going to be standing in one of the exposed lanes as Trian, pushing it out, sending out clarities, and then healing towers. Because you don't really want to place a core that can just get killed off. Fata. We'll see Taiga in the jungle. And run away.
Oh, man. Whoa!
There it is. But he missed it. Hello. Well, they did do the relocate play, Owen.
Yeah, they had the idea there, but the execution not quite. Limp a little slow with the RP. As qojqva just walks out of range of it all. That's going to mean that for another couple of minutes now, they're not going to be scared at all.
That's an early diffusal.
They're getting aggressive onto him. Limp's mana has been burned. He's pushed back past the tower. qojqva won't quite be ready to dive any further, but still a bit of a painful misplay from Limp that will cost them potentially what would have been a free brood kill. And now bottom all.